What's up, guys? So lots happened since I made videos on this channel last. We purchased something. As you guys know, the barge was here and there and everywhere, and there weren't very many videos on it, and that's because of the fact that the barge is a hunk of junk. And we gave like $4 grand for that thing, I think, and it's just a headache. But every time something happens and I need to make a YouTube video on it, my phone's dead, and I really needed to make a video on this, but my phone was dead. We woke up the other day and we went and bought a boat, a ski boat. I'm gonna show y'all right now. It's on the trailer. Very nice boat, very beautiful, very well taken care of. The seats aren't even cracked up. Not sure of the year. The title's actually in the Jeep, or I would tell y'all the year, but it's a beautiful ski boat. I don't happen to know anything about a ski boat, an inboard, outboard, or anything like that. I've never had a boat with a car engine. I always wanted one. We've ran into a serious issue. It sank. It freaking sank, okay? Like, when I tell y'all we have the worst luck ever, we have the worst luck ever. It sank, y'all. Luckily, I know I'm being dramatic, it sank, but luckily it didn't sink in the middle of the water. So the first time we took it out, you know, you got excitement to think about. You're not really, you're like, let's get these kids out here and let them have fun. You're not really thinking about listening for leaks, or, well, normal people might, but we're not normal. So we didn't think to listen for leaks. We didn't think to check the engine. I checked the oil and everything, because who wouldn't? But we didn't think to do all the rest of the bull crap. So we put it in the first time we rode for like 3 hours. It did fine. It didn't take on any water or anything like that. I didn't hear water spewing. Like I said, I was pretty worked up and excited, so maybe I didn't hear it because of that, but I didn't hear anything. We decided to come camping. And when you come camping, you don't want to load and unload a boat several times. So you just put the boat down there on the shore, tie it off to something with an anchor, and then you don't worry about it no more. But the problem with that is it took on water. How did it take on water? I don't know. I did notice when we backed it in, I heard water coming in, but I was like, okay, I don't know anything about these boats. Maybe they're supposed to take on a little bit of water and then you could just belch it out or whatever, which now that I think about it, that sounds completely ignorant, because who would want a ski boat to take on water in the first place? You're not supposed to use a bilge pump unless, you know, you got a leak. It's supposed to stay dry in there. So I was like, maybe it'll be fine. Docked it, and we, about 5.5, 6 hours later, I went down there to check on it. I wish I had footage, but like I said, my phone has been dead. Everything's been going so crazy. But it was all the way up to a little bit above the oil pan. So in like 4.5, 5 hours, it had flowed above the oil pan. And I was like, okay, well, that's not good, but let's just turn the pump on, get it all out, and see if it leaks again, which obviously it was going to, but you know. So we left it sitting overnight. I drained it before I went to bed because it was back towards the oil pan again within like another 4 hours. So I turned it on again, drained it before I went to bed, went to work, and I got a call that the boat was sunken, essentially. So my buddy went down there and turned the belts back on, but let me show y'all where the water line was. Let me bring y'all up into the boat and show y'all where the water was. So I'm not joking it's not clickbait when I tell you that the boat sank. The only thing that kept it safe was the fact that it was on ground, so it could only sink so much. If it would have been floating, like say some people leave their boat way out floating and then they swim to it, and you know, because of rocks and stuff like that, if we would have done that, it probably would have been completely underwater. I ain't even gonna lie. But it hit the bottom of the ground and it couldn't take on any more water because the boat was on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So let me show y'all. Obviously, we've been using the boat for like 4 or 5 days. There's a little bit of trash everywhere from the life jackets and stuff like that, and the kids been playing. But it's a beautiful boat. Look at the interior. The only thing is this window's cracked. Well, it's cracked. It's busted out, but look at the interior. It's so nice. And I mean, to me, it's so nice, but let's see, to you guys that might look rough, but to me, on the age of this boat and everything, that's pretty good condition. They did replace these seats here. You can tell they replaced them. But other than that, the cushions are good. Look, you know, you got your basic wrinkles and stuff, but you don't have any dry dry, or what am I trying to say? You don't have any sun damage. I'll put that on backwards. But the water line was all the way up to the cup holder there. So it had taken on enough water that all this is underwater. Now keep in mind, this storage compartment here would have had to been full of water also, which means it was overflowing out of this. So there was a lot of water inside the boat. Now that's gonna leave us with options. Option 1, we obviously need to find the leak. Option 2, we need to trace the leak down and fix it. Option 3, sell the boat and let it be somebody else's problem. We're not gonna do option 3. But what we're gonna do is, what we've already done behind the scenes is trace down the leak. Pulled the boat out, drained it completely, backed it back into the water, and actually stuck my head down in there and try to figure out where it's coming from. It's actually coming from the throttle linkage. They got all these rubber boot garments on it, and that rubber boot is broken, so it's just flowing water in there. Now, as long as you're out skiing, or as long as you're out running the boat just 90 to nothing, it's not gonna hurt, because you know you got gravity pushing the water back and it's not taking on water. But if you go out there and you sit still for too long, it takes on water. Like I'm talking like a water hose, just comes straight through. So what I'm thinking is I can get down there and pull everything apart and replace those rubber garments. So I don't know if I'm gonna make a video on that and add this to it, or I'm just gonna title this video "My Boat Sank" and get your guys' opinion. I'm fixing to jump down there and show y'all the deal and get your guys' opinion on it and see how hard it is, and if y'all have ever had to take it apart and do it before or anything like that, because I'm stressed to the max. But it is a very beautiful boat. I can see the boots ripped right here, but it's completely off right there. So we need to replace these boots. And the problem with that is, in order to do that, you have to take all of this off. So we gotta disassemble this to replace the boots. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and replace all the boots that I can, if I can order them all, because if you're gonna take all this off to replace one boot, why not replace them all, right? Because they're all gonna go bad and I'd hate to do it again. So, like I said, there's gonna be a video soon coming where we tear all this apart and put the new boot on, and hopefully that fixes our leak, because like I said, it literally just pours in right there and fills the entire boat full of water. It's the only issue we found with the whole boat. It'll crank, it'll run, it actually runs really good. Old Mercury never lets me down. But other than that, it's a dream. Beautiful, beautiful boat.